bride, and welcome to my mermaid inspired design set workshop. We are going to be using lots of different techniques to create a mermaid inspired design set. I really hope you guys enjoy this workshop, so let's get started. Welcome to my mermaid inspired design set workshop. So I've already prepared my tips, and on this one I have done a vertical ombre with Blew My Mind from the core collection and also Jungle Jive from the core collection. So if you were doing this on a client, you would have done your prep, your base coat, your ombre, 2 coats of, and then I have gone in with my Material Girl, which is our matte top coat. So the reason I've done that is because it's given us a really nice smooth surface to be able to work on top of. On this central nail, I have used again Jungle Jive, Blew My Mind, and then I've also gone in with a little bit of Silver Bells from the Opulence collection and just created a really simple marble design, and I did that using our ombre brush. So my ombre brush here, and I just put it on and then just swelled it up and then down, up and then down, and that's created that beautiful marble effect. And then on the third nail, I have done again Blew My Mind and Jungle Jive, created a horizontal ombre, and then again gone in with my Material Girl. So on this first nail, we are going to do a shell design. So I'm going to grab Innocence, which is my white from the core collection, and I'm going to pop that down. Now, normally I would use a palette, but it's quite reflective, so I'm just going to use my tabletop. And then I'm going to go in with my 10mm liner brush. Okay, so it's a really nice long tapered brush to be able to create this shell look. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fully load up my brush like so, and then because I want to taper that out, I'm going to remove that excess product just by running my brush in a nice smooth line to make sure we've got a nice consistent even coverage on our brush. Okay, and I'm now going to come from the very tip. Now obviously this is on a stiletto, and you could do this on a shorter nail. It is also super salon viable, and I'm just putting in my guideline just there, because what I want to do now is to bring that out and create like a taper to that central point. And I'm going to do that on either side of this central line that we've just put in, like so. And then I'm going to fill in this tip area. Now obviously this is nail art, but the rules still apply, so you need to make sure that you cap that free edge and then make sure that your taper is nice and even onto that free edge. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go in with my longer 20mm liner brush. Again, I'm going to load that up. I'm just going to clean that out ever so slightly, just with a lint-free pad, because it has got a little bit of previous product in there. We don't want to transfer that any colour into our white. Again, loading up my brush. And then I'm going to come from that central point using my brush to do all the work for me, and then taper it out to the center. And I'm just going to bring this down a little bit more. I feel like it needs to be a little bit thicker, and making sure that that edge is nice and crisp like so. And again, doing the same on the other side. So I'm just going to match that up, give me a guideline of where I need to go, and then bring that down too. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to come in here and do exactly the same, but leave the slightest little gap. So we've got that blue and jungle jive popping down through. And then again, I'm going to taper that out and then just fill in that negative space. Now we're working near our client's sidewalls and obviously cuticle line here. So please be sure not to have any contact with any uncured product on your client's cuticles or sidewalls. We do not want to be overexposing our client to any uncured product whatsoever. So you can see I've done the 3 lines there now. And then I'm going to do exactly the same on this side. So making sure that we're starting and finishing and it's all nice and even on both sides. And you will find it easier to do one side depending on whether you're left-handed or right-handed. So I always find the left-hand side a lot easier than the right-hand side. And if you're left-handed, it will be the other way around. Okay. So just be aware of that. It is normal to do one side and find the other side that little bit more difficult. So again, I'm just coming in and doing my 3rd one here and then tapering that, making sure again that it's nice and even, and also making sure that you finish it all the way to that sidewall edge. So I'm just going to now tidy up any edges that are slightly off. I'm just going to thicken that up there ever so slightly and keep on tapering it down like so. And then that is going to go into the lamp for a full cure. And then we're going to move on to a little bit of crystal placement. So I have got the most beautiful crystal here. It's actually a cabochon, and this is from Crystal Parade, and it is just, you can see the light refraction in there. And as soon as I saw this, I was like, oh my goodness, this is a mermaid vibe. So I'm going to use this as the central point for our crystal placement on our horizontal ombre nail. So I'm going to use my Gem Buddy to adhere this crystal. Now normally what I would do is I would put my product down on the nail first and then adhere my crystal or cabochon to that, but because this is so large, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put it on the back of the cabochon, so I know that I've got enough on there. So I'm just going in with my Gem Buddy on the back of this cabochon, and I don't want to go all the way to the edge because I don't want any of that Gem Buddy to seep out from the underside and show on the nail. Okay, so I'm literally just giving it a really nice even layer on that central part of my cabochon, and then because it's big enough to hold with my fingers, I'm going to pop it down on the nail and then just adjust it to where it needs to be. So we've got a central line here that needs to be lined up with the very tip of the nail, and also that central point there that also needs to be lined up like so. So once you're happy with your placement of that cabochon, I'm going to pop it into the lamp for a full cure, which is 60 seconds. So this nail has now had a full cure, and I don't want to leave it white. I want to give it a little bit of something special. So we are going to go in with a chrome. So this is our Get Now by Lauren McBride Classic Chromes, and in this palette you have got 2 golds and 2 silvers. So the top set are flat and the bottom set are holographic. So I'm going to go in with that holographic silver. So I've got my little applicator here. I'm going to give that a little rub and a tap and load up my applicator. And then I'm going to go over this white all the way over, obviously going right to the edge of our client's nail, so all the way into that side wall, down onto the cuticle, and also right up onto that free edge as well. So once you've got that coverage, I'm going to continue to rub over this nail, and what this is doing is it's burnishing that chrome and it's giving it that super high shine, and you can see there that beautiful holographic tone in there as well. Okay, so once you have rubbed that over, it is only going to stick to the white. It is not going to stick to that blue and turquoise ombre that we've done under there, because we've put that matte top coat on there. So once you're happy and you have burnished that in enough and it is super shiny and beautiful, we are ready to go in with our top coat. So I'm going to use I'd Rather Be Shiny, which is our no wipe top coat from Get Nailed by Laura McBride, and I'm going to pop that on, and you will see how this enhances the shine on that chrome and also makes that Blew My Mind and Jungle Jive ombre really pop. So obviously when you're doing this on a client, you want to steer clear of the cuticles, sidewalls, and also make sure that you cap that free edge, okay? And that is for the longevity for your client's nails. So I'm going to pop that into the lamp now for a full cure, and for our no wipe top coat, it is a 60-second cure. And while we've been doing that, this beautiful shell, I'm just going to straighten up the tip on this tip stand. This beautiful shell has been curing in the lamp. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go in with some AB crystals. And we are going to do a little surround on this shell. So again, I'm going to go in with my gem buddy. I'm going to come all the way around just like we would for a cuticle cuff. And I'm also going to fill this area here because we have got that little gap, but that's fine because we are going to pack that with crystals. So obviously the back of our cabochon is flat and our nail is a curved surface, so it's not going to fit perfectly, but we can fill it with crystals and make it look beautiful and nice and secure as well. So I'm just going in on either side on that back edge with some beautiful AB crystals, and then I'm going to come in with some larger crystals and tuck those right up underneath our cabochon. So I've gone 3, and then I'm going to go slightly smaller and do the honeycomb placement. So you are sitting those crystals into the corner that has been created by the first line of crystals that we've put in. I'm going to do exactly the same on the other side. So go 1, 2, 3, and then again do the honeycomb into those corners. So you can see now how we have tucked in those crystals, filled in that space, and helped to secure that beautiful cabochon. So now they're all in place, I'm just going to give them a little wiggle and move them so that when you look at them from that top section, they are nice and even. Okay, also while I'm here, because Gem Buddy is perfect for your flat backs, your pointy backs, and also your caviar beads, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to add my taper, and I'm going to pop those crystals in as well. So I'm just going to pop that in to the central point and then either side like so. And then I'm going to go for a slightly smaller crystal here. I'm just going to grab a little bit more Gem Buddy, pop it on the end of that crystal and also into the corner of those. And then I'm going to go for a much smaller crystal just to create that taper coming down the nail, and then I'm going to come in here and put a smaller crystal as well. I'm just going to make sure that they are all nice and even and central, which they are. So that is now going to go into the lamp for a full cure. While that one is fully curing, we are going to do the most simple cuticle cuff on this beautiful holographic silver nail. So again, I'm going to go in with my gem buddy and I'm just going to do a really simple cuticle cuff. But because we've got that silver there, I want to mix it up a little bit, and I'm going to go in with a large blue crystal at the base there, and then I'm going to go in with my AB either side of that, and then I'm going to go in with my smaller blue crystals. I'm just going to give this a wiggle. Just going to grab some smaller ones out and pop them into my, there we go, pop them into my flip tray. So these are aqua, so we are introducing our third colour just here, like so. Okay, and then again I'm going to finish with that smaller AB just on the tail end of that cuticle cuff. So I'm just going to go in with a little tiny bit more gem buddy. Obviously you need to be careful because we are working around our client's cuticle area. You don't want any of that uncured product to be going onto their skin to cause any overexposure. So there's our cuticle cuff. That's going to go in for, again, full cure, which is 60 seconds. I'm just going to pop all of my crystals out of the way now, because we are done with our crystal placement, but we are not finished completely. So I am going to go in with my caviar beads. So I've got my ring palette here, and I have put a little bit of gem buddy down, and then I'm putting my caviar beads into that gem buddy. Okay, so what's happening here is we are encapsulating all of our caviar beads, and it means that we're not going to get any pooling on the nail. So the caviar bead is going to be really nice and secure, but without any of that pooling from nail to caviar. And you want that transition from that surface of the nail to your crystal placement to be seamless. You don't want any pooling to be going on, because the eye is going to be drawn to that rather than your crystal placement. So with your caviars, I'm just picking them up with my 5mm brush. Some people find it easier to use a needle tool or the end of their crystal katana. To be honest, this is just what I'm used to, is using a 5mm short brush to pick up my caviars. I can do it quite quickly, but you need to find whatever works for you. I know some people, some of our ambassadors, can't use a brush, they use their needle tool. So by all means, play around, see what works for you. I do find it much easier with my brush. So I'm just picking these up off of my ring palette, and I'm going into every corner that has been created by my crystals and popping a caviar bead in there. So for those of you that have seen my crystal placement before, you will know that I do not do crystal placement without caviar bead work. So not only does it help to secure our crystals, because there is safety in numbers and it's like the claw setting on a diamond ring, it also completely finishes off the look and makes it look like a piece of jewelry. And once you have mastered the art of picking up your caviar beads and placing them, and you're confident with it, you too will never do crystal placement without caviar bead work, because it really does look unfinished. So I'm just going to pop these now. I've worked methodically so I don't miss any areas out. So I'm just going in now underneath here, and then on this end here, to help to elongate that taper, I am doing a cluster of 3. So that's 2 at the connection of the crystal, and then 1 to make up that triangle. So I'm just going to go through now, double check that I haven't missed any areas, and there is just the one just there. There we go. And that is now going to go into the lamp for a full cure. So that's going to go in for 60 seconds. And then we are going to grab out our cuticle cuff and do exactly the same again. Obviously, it's less intricate on this one. So we're just going to go into those nooks. And then when we get to the end of this cuticle cuff, again, we want to do that cuddle of 3. So 2 at the base, 1 at the top to create that triangle formation, and then that helps to create that taper from the end of our cuticle cuff, so it doesn't look like the crystals are just stopping short. So once again, going into each one individually. You do not want to be going over your crystals with your Gem Buddy or any product, in fact, because your crystals are faceted, and it's the facets on the crystals that make your crystals shine. So the second we smooth that out, whether it be with top coat, base coat, Gem Buddy, or any product, so even if you try to encapsulate them in acrylic, it wouldn't work because you're smoothing out the facets of that crystal, and the second they're smoothed out, they will stop shining because it will just be like a round cabochon. So you don't want to do that. So work really methodically with your product to make sure that you do not smooth out those facets. So that is the caviar bead placement done on that nail and also on this nail. And then I'm going to pop that down there. So this one is, I'm actually going to put a shiny top coat on this so that it matches our other crystal placement nail that we have got in the lamp. So I'm just going in and up against our crystals and then pulling away, so like we are dragging that product away from those crystals, because the last thing we want is to create that pooling around our crystals. And also you will need to make sure that you are steering well clear of the side walls and also capping that free edge. Okay, so I'm just going to go in now and do that. And I'm going to pop that in the lamp for a full cure. So that is our crystal cuff nail done. We have also completed our marble now. So if you wanted to keep that matte, then you can. If you wanted to shine up, then that's entirely up to you. But I really like the contrast between the two, to be honest. It looks super cute. So on this nail, we have done our really simple cuticle cuff with our shell design using our Innocence and topping that with our holographic silver from the classic chromes. And then behind that we have got our Jungle Jive and Blew My Mind ombre, vertical ombre rather than a horizontal ombre. On this nail we have done our Blew My Mind Jungle Jive silver bells marble using our ombre brush, and then finished off with Material Girl, which is our matte top coat. And then on this final nail, we have done our beautiful crystal placement with our horizontal ombre with Jungle Jive, Blew My Mind, those AB crystals, and that shell cabochon. And that completes this workshop. So as always, I really hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please feel free to PM me, and I will see you all very, very soon. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please make sure you click the subscribe button, and if you want to see any future videos, just click them below. Thank you all so much for joining me, and I'll see you all soon.